Hey songwriters, it's Chad Shank, and you're watching this video because you want to see the simple songwriting formula that changed everything for me. So, this is something that I started using because I had heard so many people saying that if you want to be a great songwriter, you have to think of things in a way that other people don't think of them. And one of the most common ways to write songs is to start with a title. And I've been writing from a title ever since I was in middle school. I just naturally write from a title, I write from a hook, I build songs around what that title is. And I always seem to come up with sort of the cliche, sort of everyday ideas that other people would come up with. So my songs never really seem to jump ahead of the pack, so to speak. So I discovered this really cool way to use your title and come up with more creative ideas. So you're not settling on the first idea. Because if you are coming up with that idea, chances are tons of other people are coming up with that idea as well. So I want to teach you this process and show you how you can start with a title and then come up with multiple ideas to try to come up with the most creative and most impactful song that you can. I like to call this process title plus five. So, title plus five, that's what we're talking about here. So, what are the steps in doing this? Well, the goal here is to come up with as many creative ideas as you can through your title. And songwriting is really just communication of emotions and situations. So, the first step in this process of title plus five, the first step is select a title that inspires you. So if you find a title that, you feel like this is a cool title, I want to turn this into a song, that's step one. Step two is to write down 5 different emotions. So it can be any 5 emotions, but just as some examples, I like to use happy, sad, scared, nostalgia, and anger. Your 5 emotions can be any other 5 emotions. And if you want to look up emotions and see what options there are, just Google emotion wheel and you'll have a ton of ideas that you can use. So, step 2, look up 5 emotions. Next step is to think of your title or consider your title through each of those emotional lenses. So take your title and think about it. What would the story be if that song was happy? What would the story be if that song was sad? What would the story be if this song was about fear or being scared? What would that title mean if it was about nostalgia or looking back? What would it mean, or what would the song be about if it was about anger? So as you do this, write down 1 or 2 sentences of what the song could be about with each emotion. So take your title, run it through those emotions, and that gives you the title plus 5. And I think what you will see is something will stand out to you. One of those 5 emotions is going to just kind of scream at you and say, this is the coolest idea. And what I love about this process and why it's so simple, but it has made such an impact on my writing, is it makes me think about my title and it makes me think about my hook deeper than I normally would. Because sometimes I get lazy and I just go with the first thing that pops into my mind. And as I'm coaching songwriters and songwriting students, a lot of them do the same thing as well. So I encourage my students and the clients that I work with songwriting coaching to really take a title, run it through 5 of those emotional lenses, and see which one really communicates the most to you and what makes your song sort of stand out within sort of whatever you're thinking, or what speaks to you the most. And there's a lot of really great tools and techniques that you can use to really develop ideas and take your songs to that next level once you do land on that title and kind of that idea. And this video is another one that's going to help you dive deeper and develop your song by writing from a title.